Is Tesla coming to India, and more importantly, will Tesla make in India? The first indicator of Elon Musk's company coming to India has been the posting of job opportunities for the country on LinkedIn for the very first time. This is a clear signal that it will soon open its showrooms both in Delhi and in Mumbai. Tesla chief Elon Musk met with Prime Minister Modi during his visit to the United States last week, and now speculation is rife if a breakthrough has indeed been achieved. Tesla has made two previous attempts to enter the Indian market, both of which have ended in failure. There are three main reasons or obstacles as to why Tesla has not made its presence in India yet. First, there are steep import duties. In fact, prior to the budget, the import duties on electric vehicles were as high as 110%. The second obstacle was the government's insistence on domestic manufacturing, which still exists. And third is the not-so-evolved demand for electric vehicles in the Indian market, all of which was a dampener as far as Tesla's entry into the Indian market is concerned. But last year, the government announced a highly subsidized import duty of just 15%. But there are some conditions attached to it. That 15% will be only for 8,000 foreign-made electric vehicles, which can be imported every year, if the manufacturer of those EVs, the company that manufactures those electric vehicles, invests at least $500 million for locally manufacturing those electric vehicles. As per the policy that was changed last year, the company must invest this minimum amount, $500 million, over a 3-year period. And in that 3-year period, they have to start manufacturing and selling electric vehicles that are locally produced in India. There is, however, a time limit, or a number limit on how many cars can be imported during this 3-year period. An investment of $800 million would ensure that there is subsidized import duty of 15% for 8,000 foreign-made electric vehicles that can be imported and sold in India. Now, it is still not clear whether Tesla will make that $500 million investment to avail of this 15% duty, or will they go with what is the existing duty, which is 70% over and above the price of the car. So, let's try and break it down for you in terms of cold numbers. If Tesla were to make its entry into the Indian market, and if you're interested in purchasing a Tesla electric vehicle, how much money would you have to pay? How much would it cost you? So if the Tesla car, the electric vehicle, is made in India as part of this minimum investment policy of $500 million by the government of India, then the base variant model of Tesla Model 3, which is the cheapest out there in the market, the cheapest model that is available, that would be roughly about $39,000 US. That's what it would cost in America. That is roughly about 40 lakh rupees in India if you were to add a 15% customs duty. But like I said, that 15% customs duty is only if Tesla commits to and promises to invest $500 million to start a manufacturing line and within 3 years starts locally producing and locally selling. We have not heard any such commitment from Tesla yet. Now, if that same model, the Tesla Model 3, which is the cheapest base variant, were to be imported as a fully built luxury electric vehicle, you could incur a cost of up to 60 lakh rupees at the very minimum, because the customs duty on the imported electric vehicle would be 70%. This, of course, is an approximate price because outside of customs duty alone, there would be more local taxes involved, which might differ from state to state. There's also GST, there is registration charges, there's a whole bunch of other charges before a car finally hits the road. So the question that is being asked is, would you pay 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs or 60 lakh rupees for an electric vehicle, howsoever valuable a brand it might be, like Tesla is? Our Kranti Sambhav breaks this down for you.
To understand the whole Tesla game, we have to understand how electric cars or any luxury cars are important in India. And traditionally, we have been seeing the duty or the import duty on all the CBUs. And if you remember Union Budget 2025, we all saw there was a reduction of around 40% on import duty on various luxury cars. But at the same time, the agriculture cess was introduced around 40%. So the effective price remained the same for any imports. But in this case, we have to remember the scheme which we were discussing last year, which had a very long name, the scheme to promote manufacturing of electric passenger cars in India. So that scheme basically meant to improve or promote the manufacturing of electric cars in India. And under that scheme, the criteria was to bring in around $500 million to invest in India, and within 5 years, you have to achieve almost 50% of localization in those electric vehicles. And under that scheme, if you qualify in that scheme, you can import your cars with just 15% duty. And if that happens, if that happens in this case, especially in Tesla's case, then what we can assume or expect that the pricing of, for example, we were all discussing Model 3 would be the first car from Tesla to introduce in India. And if you look at its pricing between China, Europe and America, the prices are between $33,000 US to $42,000. So in case Tesla plans to bring that to India, we'll just see around, maybe it can come in that segment where we have seen lots of action lately. So it'll be around 40 lakh bracket, I guess, and then we can see it'll compete with products like Hyundai Ioniq, BMW's latest iX1 long wheelbase, or BYD C-Line 7, which is recently launched. So it is going to be very competitive, and if that scheme is implemented anytime soon, then we might see a very competitive scenario in electric vehicle market, and entry of Tesla will also mean bettering of the whole EV ecosystem and charging network.